While Cuomo was notoriously tough on staff, he engendered a remarkable amount of loyalty in the people around him. Yes, he could be irrational and impetuous at times, but he matched that with a deep interpersonal warmth, showing up at weddings, bat mitzvahs, and funerals. He always took the time to call staffers dealing with loss and personal hardships. He'd also been a formidable governor, the likes of which New York hadn't seen in decades. He'd managed to get the unruly state legislature under control and achieve some big things. The last several months had tested that loyalty, as it became increasingly clear that Cuomo wasn't being straight with any of us, myself included. He'd led us down a path of defending him against claims of sexual harassment without giving us the full truth. We felt betrayed and misled. "Governor, I'd like to disagree," I told him, "but I just don't see a way out of this." In the moment, I meant it as much for him as for me. 1. First crush. You always remember your first. I started college less than a year after the Supreme Court hijacked the 2000 election. Their decision left half the country, myself included, extremely pissed off at the new commander-in-chief. 10 months later, and 10 days before I'd set foot on Dartmouth's Hanover, New Hampshire campus, I watched 2 different Boeing commercial airliners crash into the World Trade Center, reducing the Twin Towers to ash. For a brief moment, the anger over Bush v. Gore evaporated, and President George W. Bush rallied the American people to unite against the threat of global terrorism. Like a lot of other kids in my generation, those 2 seemingly once-in-a-lifetime events, happening in the span of 1 year, no less, nudged me into the world of public service. It wasn't the hardest sell for me, ever since I'd seen The War Room, the behind-the-scenes documentary about the 1992 Clinton campaign. I'd had an itch to work in politics. The 2004 presidential race scratched that itch. In a normal world, I'd have followed my parents' footsteps into the legal field, where my father had an especially distinguished career, and I still could. But nothing about the world felt normal anymore. The low stakes of peace and prosperity 1990s were gone. The politics of the 2000s felt like some life and death shit. I settled on my 2004 candidate early, Senator John Edwards from North Carolina. I'd done some research and read a series of national profiles. Nicholas Lehman described him in The New Yorker as a rollicking, full-throated, us-against-them populist. His To America's campaign theme drew me in immediately with its echoes of Bobby Kennedy. Also, let's be real, his superficial appeal was an undeniable factor. He was youngish and vibrant, with the shiniest light brown hair you'd ever seen. Years of work as a courtroom star translated well on the Senate floor and campaign trail. He knew how to craft an argument, reel you in, and leave you with no other option but to side with him. With his pronounced Carolina drawl, he drew out his vowels irresistibly. Iowa, I believe in you. In March 2003, between my winter and spring terms at college, I dragged my parents down to D.C. to get an up-close look at my candidate. After he was elected to the Senate in 1998, Edwards's staff had developed a simple but effective political ploy. Whenever the Senate was in session, he'd hold weekly freewheeling sessions with constituents that his office dubbed Tar Heel Thursdays. Technically, I was cheating a little bit. I was a New York native enrolled at college in New Hampshire. But my dad's status as a born and bred Tar Heel got us in the door. Looking back, I'm a little surprised that my parents agreed to make the 4-hour drive to Washington, but they were always supportive of the interests of their 4 children. And I think